Hi, this is Jill from the Smiling Goat, and I want to thank you all for ordering this kit from your organization to help them raise money. What we are making today is a group of blocks that will have your photographs glued to them and the word family across the bottom block. In your kit that you received, you got one 10.5 inch by 3.5 inch block and 6 of this size, 3.5 inch blocks. You also receive glue for your photos, paint, a couple of sponge brushes, the vinyl that says family, and a template so you'll know what size to cut your photos. Okay, so let me give you some ideas before we start on some things that you can do. You can use the paint I chose. I chose a very neutral palette just so that it would go with a variety of homes. If you want to paint yours a different color, let's say you want to do white or red or blue or green, or you want each block a different color for a different family member, that's totally up to you. You can just use any acrylic, actually any kind of paint, as long as you give it enough dry time before you put the photos down. You can use whatever you've got. If you have cabinet paint that you've painted your kitchen cabinets with from, let's say, Fusion Mineral Paint, and you want to paint these, that's a great option. So, you can mix and match and make this your own, but you did receive in your kit a tannish color neutral paint. And that's what I've used already to paint all of these except for one. I'm going to show you how I painted this, how to paint this one. But these have already gotten the base coat, and you can tell it is almost wood color. You can just see a slight difference. It's called khaki, but again, I thought my photos would pop off this, and if you're giving it as a gift and you don't know what their color scheme is, this color would work with about anything. So we're going to start with the paint, and I'm going to show you that. And then while paint's drying, I'm going to show you how to prepare your photos. So I am a little bit lazy, so I could have gotten a plate, poured my paint on it, dipped into the paint, and been very, very tidy about it. I just squirt straight on. That's it. Squirt a little bit, just a dollop, take my brush and brush it on. I'm trying my best to go all in one direction so I don't have this mystery mash look. So my paint will dry all one way. And you can see I'm going to hold on to the top and bottom. And then I'll go around to the other side and just paint what's residually on my brush. Another great thing about this color is if you miss a spot, it's not going to blare out at you. But speaking of which, let's say you wanted to miss some spots. If you wanted the edge of the wood to show, as you're painting before it dries, just take a wet rag and wipe off the edges instead of having to sand the blocks or something. So, which you could sand the edges of the blocks once it's good and dry if you wanted to rough it up and make it look more rustic. You can sure do that. I just like to take a wet rag and wipe the extra off as I go. But that's not necessary. That's just if you want to do something extra. Otherwise, you just paint. Now, when I get to the part where my photo's going to go, I'm going to stick a picture right there. There is no sense in painting that if I'm just going to cover it up. Now, I could have left that side bare as well because it's, you can put pictures on both sides and have them flip around. So just to make sure that the edges that peek out around the photo are painted, I'm just going to paint the edges. Now, nothing bad's going to happen if you paint the whole thing. If you forget and you're visiting or talking on the phone, watching your shows, and you forget and paint the whole thing, you just have to let paint dry. That's it. That's it. Nothing bad's going to happen. All right, got it all painted. Now, how about the top and bottom? Well, again, you have two options. You can leave one side bare because it's going to not be shown when it stands straight up and just paint the top, or you can paint both top and bottom. So add a little squirt of paint, little squirt, and paint it in. So because these raw edges are pretty rough on your brush, I did all my flat surfaces first, set it up like this to dry, and then once it was dry, I could pick it up and do the top and bottom and then let it dry, you know, this way. And it's rough on my brush, so that way I didn't have a roughed up brush to do my long areas. So I'm just kind of tapping it in. And also these cut edges absorb the paint. Okay, so there it is. This is where I'm going to put my picture so there's not a lot going on. Because I used acrylic paint and really thin, it's almost already dry. So I'm just going to turn it over, put a little dollop of paint. I'm tapping a little bit up here at the top, just so that it doesn't, these rough edges don't cut. I am tongue-tied. Don't catch hold of the sponge on my brush and rip it to shreds. If I feel like it's too rough and it's going to be tearing up my brush, I can just tap it in. Just tap. Another thing you might think of when you're painting is don't press hard. When you're pressing hard, you're wearing out your brush and it's not going to last. So you're just spreading paint. It's not like you have to rake through it like you're shoveling snow or something. So just use the tip, light strokes. My husband was calling me on my phone while I'm trying to do this video. So if you saw anything, I rejected it for now. Sorry about that, David. Okay, so anyway, I am going to sit here and let paint dry just a little bit. I'm going to pause this and be right back with you. Okay, I am back. I know to you that was just a second or two. To me, it was a few minutes. So here, I never did answer David's phone call. It wasn't important. He didn't call me back. So here are my photos already stuck to some blocks. But let me show you how to do this last one that we just painted. Okay, so you have glue. That's what we're going to use to stick it down. And you have your photograph. Now you can't just stick your photo on and cut around it because then you'll have a mess. So I sent with you a piece of paper that's in a square. You will need some kind of pen. I used a Sharpie. Ballpoint pen is fine. You trace around that, and a pair of scissors. Those are not included in your kit. So I just went to Walgreens and had some pictures made. These are just 4x6s, and I am trimming them down. Now then, just think if you did this with a white background with black and white photos, or if you did the sepia photos, those would be gorgeous too. I chose colored photos just so you all could see what I'm doing. There, I cut it out. Try to cut inside the lines of your Sharpie or your ballpoint pen, just so that you don't have those marks left on your photo. Okay, see how that fits? Just a little bit of margin all the way around. Oops, it goes up and down. Like that. I like to put the raw edge, the cut edge, top and bottom. Just that gives it a little bit more grip when it's sitting somewhere so they don't slide around as easily. Now, like as if I wasn't lazy with the paint, here I'm lazy with the glue too. Squeeze some on there. You don't need a lot. If you, probably a dime-sized amount, but I just swirled it out a little. And then that second brush that I gave you, or if you already used it for paint twice, just wash it out. You can even use your finger to smear. I smeared out fairly thin. Stick my photo right on there, and then you can use your hand to pat it on. I just have an old t-shirt that I've cut apart, and I am using that to help press, just so I don't get glue all over my fingers. Just press it down. This is good stuff, good glue. It's on there. There is nothing else you need to do with these photos. They are good to go. So the only thing left is family. Now family is done on 651 vinyl. That means it's or Oracal vinyl. It means it's indoor, outdoor. Not that you're going to use these outdoor, but it makes it permanent. So after about a day, these are not going to be able to be picked off easily. So if you're leaving them down where little kids are playing and stuff, you don't have to worry about them picking at it so much and getting it off. So rub it on. Make sure it sticks well to this transfer tape. I did cover it with this clear plastic for you so you can lift it off. I like to turn it upside down and peel the paper away. You are taking away the paper and leaving the black lettering on the clear plastic. If your black lettering starts to pull off and stick to your white paper, lay that paper back down and re-rub it. You didn't stick it down well enough. And see here, I didn't stick it down well enough. That Y is trying to not stay where I want it to stay. It's coming, oh, that was an L. Not a Y. The Y is doing the same thing though. There. When I pull off my paper, there's no black. The black is left on my clear plastic. So all you have to do is make sure that your painted surface is super dry, not cool to the touch at all. You lay it on in your placement where you want it. I chose right center, middle center. You could right center and then draw a little design, a little swirly, a heart. You could do something fancy. You could take your Sharpie and draw dash marks or something. You can get creative, or you can just leave it like I'm going to leave it, just plain, just pretty too. Okay, so now I've got the sticky side up, not down, and I've got the slick side just to help me rub it in. Again, I could use my fingers, but if I have something on my fingers like paint or glue or something, that is going to rub off. So I just am reusing this. You could also use your towel if there's not glue on it, or something. You can go back to this white paper you had and use it to rub down. But that's it. You have family name blocks, and when you're finished, they stand up and you can mix and match these blocks. See, this, however you want it to go. That's hard to see. Let me see if I can tilt it. They are so stinking cute. Other things you can do. You can embellish. You can go to your Michael's store or Hobby Lobby, get some little burlap flowers, some little scrapbooking stickers, something you can stick all over these. On the back side, you can either put people's names and dates of the picture. You could also put another photo so that you can have it one way and then turn it around and have it another. Something else you can do is put like Christmas pictures on the back, and on the back side of the family block have another word that says Merry Christmas, and then you can have Christmas and the rest of the year. So use these blocks, enjoy them, and I want to tell you again how much your organization appreciates and how much I appreciate you purchasing this for them or with them. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.